If you thought last season was deep,
You haven't heard anything yet.
this is boots to boots.
The moments where everything you thought you knew about yourself changes.
Because this is the stuff no one wants to talk about.
But it's what needs to be talked about.
Healing doesn't happen alone.
It happens through shared experience.
So lace up your boots.
Join the conversation.
We'll be talking to you.
We are rolling. Nothing can...
Wait, I was going to say something.
rolling down the river. Or are you going to say rolling, rolling, rolling?
No, I was going to sing "Rolling in the Deep," but then now I don't know what the rhythm says.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to Boots to Boots.
This is us.
This is the real us.
Oh, we always show them the real us.
Yeah, that's why we.
Long hair and all. It's getting long. Do I cut it? Do I cut it, guys? Let me know in the comments.
Well,
I
think we should start at the big, scary moment you had.
Sacrifice.
About 2
Lived
weeks
up to the
ago.
pay-per-view.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. The build to you and Mike Santana at Sacrifice for the TNA World Championship.
Story was good. Could have been longer and stretched out more creatively. But obviously we made the most of the situation, and I thought we were telling a good, compelling story that was drawing ratings and attention to TNA.
Yeah.
At the time, and Mike's using his story of his overcoming of addiction, his death of his dad, bringing his family in there, and just using that to his advantage to gain sympathy for fans, which works for him. And it's great because it's relatable and fans can relate to it. And then for me, I was doing it on the flip side, where I don't do that. I think I'm the bigger person in that way, where I don't have to do that. So it's the contrast of real life situations that made it compelling for people to see. And then people were caring that I got fired in the Feast or Fired match. And it was really fun to sink my teeth in. I wanted to be gone a little bit longer and maybe go to different promotions and try a couple things. But obviously that wasn't going to happen. But hey, you can only pitch so much, and you only can get told no. But yeah, we got to Sacrifice, and it was a built-up pay-per-view pretty well. The card was very actually stacked for the entire show, and I was like, shit, how are we going to follow some of these matches?
Yeah.
Because EY and friggin' Leon Slater opened the night and just killed it, and it was a great match. And I was like, oh, I hope the energy's still going to be. It was just one of those nights where I'm like,
that's what's always so hard about being the main event.
Is like the energy, are the people still going to be there with everything? And once my entrance, the video package played, my entrance music hit, people were booing me, and I got in the ring, and I just felt so relaxed and so comfortable. We had 26 minutes for the whole seg. And Mike's doing his entrance, and he's taking his time. I'm like, oh, perfect. I went and sat in the corner, and I was just relaxed. I looked at Ingrid. I was like, oh, we're good. Like, it just, everything was perfect. The energy was there. They were cheering for him. They were booing the crap out of me. And then the bell rang. We got about 2.5 minutes into exchanging. We tried to wrestle a little bit to still be kind of there, be a little physical with it. And then we just said, fuck it. Let's throw the gloves off and just start hitting each other. And back and forth. Mike took off, gave me a good old TNA kick to the gut. I hit him with a forearm in the ropes, and then I hit the ropes. And next thing I remember is, well, actually, I wasn't knocked out. The next thing I know is I'm on the ground trying to figure out what's going on with my body, even though my head from the neck up is normal. And this is the first time I've ever been rocked in a match where that's the complete opposite. Normally, my body's good, and you're just an autopilot moving, and your brain is just like, all right, we'll get there. Just freaking get to what you need to. But this was the complete opposite, and it scared the hell out of me at first too, because you see me grab the rope, and training always sunk in, muscle memory of just basics. And this is what I tell everybody: when you're hitting those ropes and grabbing that top rope, that saved me from possibly going through the ropes or maybe hitting a rope on the way down. I think I did hit a rope on the way down, but I was stopping myself in the ropes. And you even see me throw up the gang signs with my hand.
The fencing,
but I was throwing up that Wu-Tang sign.
Oh my God.
And Eddie made a joke of it later. Eddie Edwards made a joke of it to me in the back later the next day too. I was like, "Hey, you're throwing up them gang signs, brother." But I couldn't move. My body wasn't computing with my brain, and it was the first time. And I was like, "Oh shit, what are we doing?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Just give me a second." Ref Katie, ref Alice, as everybody knows her, but her real name's Katie. She was there, and she was instantly like the savior I needed. And that's why I even asked for her for the match. I always ask for Katie for all my big matches, or any match in general, just because she gets it. and the referee is always a third person in the ring that you need a part of the match. And for me, she gets it. She listens to me. I call my audibles to her beforehand. If we get cut for this, we can go to this. And she knows to relay that. And she's just good at her job. And she proved that she is very proficient at her job that night just because she stepped in. She knew something was wrong. And when she was talking to me, I was coherently talking to her like we are now. Like, hey, I'm good. Just give me a minute. Like, Mike's asking what to do. I'm like, just tell him to give me a minute. Like, just hold on a sec. I'm like, it's going to friggin' leapfrog, drop down, back elbow. And of course, seeing me do that with the way I had deer legs, like on ice, probably would not have been entertaining to watch. But I knew what was coming next, but my body just said no. And she called for the X, and Asa came over. And then that's when Carlos said, even talking with him, he knew what happened because he comes from watching MMA for so long, and with all the fighting in that industry and seeing so many different types of knockouts. And what really happened was the whiplash got me so much off, and he drilled the side of my neck where that nerve is and all. Just a dangerous spot to get hit. And luckily I didn't have any problems after the scans and the concussion protocol that we went through at the hospital. But again, like, everybody was there to see what was going on. Ingrid was there. Asa was there. Obviously Katie. Mike, I can tell, was very concerned, but also trying to stay in the moment too, because that's hard on that end too, of like, if you hurt somebody on accident, like, you're just, oh shit, like, you want to break character and go to that person right away, and you can't do that, especially if it's on the flip side. He's a babyface, he could have, but on the flip side, as a heel, you can't do that. You have to play into it a little bit more.
Well, which is funny because when I was watching, I was in Canada.
Yeah.
It was Ring of Honor versus MLP for Global Wars, so I was staying with Josh and Jen, and I had got back to the house, and it was like maybe 2 matches before you or something. And so we were like, oh, I'll put the pay-per-view on for Steve, and Jet was still awake. And we're all sitting on the couch and like kind of talking this way, but the TV's over here, and like half paying attention to the wrestling, half talking about the night that we had all had.
Yeah.
And I remember watching you do the forearm, you eat the super kick, and your arm on the top rope. And I just think you're like a super creative, dynamic seller anyway. That Terry Taylor selling, and so I was just like, fuck, that was a good sell. Okay.
Don't worry, I'm going to steal that for herself from now on.
And then you don't get up. And I was like,
which is rare.
Wait, guys, is this weird? Is something weird happening? And Josh had said to me, and I don't know if it was like, because he knows I'm crazy and trying to calm me down, and he knows I'm anxious all the time, like, no, maybe he's just playing possum. And I was like, he's not moving. Like, I didn't even notice the fencing hands, right? And I'm like, no, something's weird. And so I texted Tom Hannafin, who was on commentary, and I was like,
who was burying me literally burying me the entire exchange.
Yeah. And I texted him, I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, he just wrote back, shoot. So then I was like, then I get up off the couch and I'm pacing back and forth and I'm mad. And I'm like, why did this fucking asshole kick him this hard? Like, what the fuck? Like, furious, trying not to curse like I am now because Jet's in the room. Like, just, and not that I was angry at Mike, because accidents happen, right? And that's just part of what we do, and it's the risk we all take. So, like, this is not me, disparaging Mike whatsoever. Accidents happen. More so just like mad in the moment for you and scared for you, and my emotions always come out as angry. So I had texted Tom, and I'm like, I don't know how you can tell him, but tell him I said the match is over.
Yeah.
Because you try to stand up, you fall back down. You try, you get back down.
Well, I only went back down because Katie was like, you're done. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Well, and then Ace came out.
No, that was the saving grace too, though. Because everybody was trying to figure out the situation. And Ace Steele is a close friend of mine, trainer, coach, brother. And he just gets me. And he's like an Adam Pearce or a Steve Carino in my life, or Norman Smiley, Robbie like the guys that understood who I was. And he gets me and understands my thinking, but also can critique it and tweak it for me. But he was the voice I needed in the moment. I know I posted a few days ago about it, but that was the coach / dad voice that I needed to hear, where he wasn't malicious with it, wasn't a yell. He just said it in the most calmly manner, and he just came down to the ring from the back. Yeah. He goes, you're done. And then instantly, as soon as I heard his voice, I'm like, that was just like, I don't know, I guess it was a sign from God of just like, that's the person I needed to hear in the moment. And because everybody else, like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to continue. I even said to Carlos, I should be winning this match. He got a laugh out of that one. But no, he was the saving grace in that moment. Everybody was the saving grace in that moment because it was handled so perfectly.
Yeah.
By the TNA staff and medical, and I was taken care of so quickly in the back and then right to the hospital.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I was very more upset. That sounds so awful.
That is so Steve. That is so Steve.
I was just more
not concussed, Steve.
Not concussed. I was more upset for the fans because like I could just tell the vibe was there for the match.
Yeah.
And it's something Mike and I were looking forward to for that final part of the story at that moment. If it was going to continue, hopefully we could have. If not, I think that was it. And when you're in there with friends, you're kind of laying it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And this was one of those freak moments where it was just a step off. He needed to be a step closer in the ring and me coming off to where I could step off the ropes with it.
Yeah.
But timing is everything in wrestling, whether good or bad. And this was one of those bad moments of timing, but also a good moment too, where it showed the proper way to handle in 2026 when something like this happens.
Well, and I think also too, there was a clip that went viral from another company where it wasn't handled well at all. And I think that, it was like that perfect opposite reaction of like the internet saw that clip and talked about how wrong it was. And not that I want you to have had to be that example, but it was the perfect example of this is exactly how something like this should be handled if it was to arise. And I was so grateful because I'm in Canada, you're in New Orleans.
I was coming to Canada the next day.
Right, but I can't get to you because I have to work the next day, and I was just so like there's nothing I can do. But I felt so appreciative of our family at TNA that we've built for the last 5 years. Even Carlos texting me to keep me posted about we're going to the hospital. This is who's with him. Keep me posted. Let me know how he is later tonight. He's in the hotel room. Here's my room number. Tell him to charge things to my everyone. Lish, Tasha, Ingrid, Ross.
Even as soon as I came through the curtain, they sat me down in a chair. Lish and Tasha came up. I'm like, please call my wife. Tasha was saying, call Dee. I'm like, yep, just tell her I'm okay, please.
Yeah, I probably had already called her because I'm like, where is Steve? Brian Myers texted me. I'm, just our friends.
Our friends and our family. They're not even friends, they're family. Yeah. It's our wrestling family.
Handled it so well for me who couldn't physically be there.
Yeah.
And I'll always be grateful for that.
I'm grateful too because the person that I punched in the stomach, Tom Hannafin, right as the show ended, I waited for him because they were still making sure. I was still kind of wobbly, like legged when I got in the back, but coherently I was good. And I was very upset and just, you hate when shit like that happens. It sucks because you put so much into it.
You and Mike had told such a great story. And I think, Mike's a great babyface anyway, but I think that you really tapped into like a different side of you.
Yeah.
And like you said, you've never really talked about publicly at all about your dad passing when you were young and
my own addiction,
your own addiction problems and, like military stories. You don't put out there what you did on deployments and the people who you witnessed pass on deployments. And I think that's such a large piece of your story that is part of your superpower, like I like to say, but you were able to tell it in such an organic way that didn't feel like you were forcing it on them because of the character that he plays. So I felt like you, in my eyes, and of course I'm biased, but I think also the fans really resonated with it. Like you really leveled yourself up throughout that whole story, and that was the match that was going to reward that. Win or lose, that was the storyline that was going to say like, and now this is what we do with Steve next.
I think no matter what, at the end of that match, and I can still call the match to you right now, and Mike and I were texting yesterday about it, he's like, I still know most of the match. I can call the whole thing to you right now, just because that's how my brain works. And I love having that wrestling brain. I'm like, fuck, like this was really, there were certain things we had in there that just were good moments. And at the beginning of the match, you always love it when a crowd is booing the hell out of the heel, cheering on the babyface. But then towards the middle of the match, when you get towards the back end, the crowd just gets so sucked into it.
Yeah.
And I know you've been a part of these with Jordan, with Mickey. Like,
oh my gosh, next night with Giselle, yeah.
And the crowd's so sucked into it, they don't, at the end, they don't care who won or lost. It just entertained them. And they got to escape in that moment. And that's what I always love. And the fact, like, it was 26 minutes, like, you're given 26 minutes, that is a lifetime opportunity that you don't get much. Yeah. I know I'll get it again, hopefully, knock on wood. But just the comfort that I felt and just and at the beginning and then being so upset and like, we'll get back to it. Hopefully TNA does it the right way creatively where we don't just have the match and it blows away for no reason and it's cold. Like, no, this is something you can now utilize and build. The clip of me getting rocked has 1 million views.
Yeah.
Like I was reached out to so many people from so many different companies checking in on me. Medical staff at AEW texted you to see how I was doing. Like,
Yeah. No, which is on a separate note, like such a testament to the person that you are and like the career you've built and like the respect people have for you and vice versa. And so like I think that that's something you should be really proud of, that many people cared if you were okay. Because I could tell you there's some people that I would not care if they were.
No, I know, but hey guys, if this was a conversation you needed to hear today, let us know.
Like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Lace up your boots and join the conversation.
And we'll be talking to you. It's just, I tell anybody in seminars or in class training at ACES or anybody's school when we're there or even at shows, like one of the number one things is I'm like, guys, just treat everybody with respect. Like until they give you a moment where you have no respect, I'll still respect you and say hello and goodbye.
Oh, you're such a nice person.
But I know in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I remember this moment, but you know what I mean? I'll still be respectful and kill them with kindness. But for the most part, there's no reason to be in a entertainment business of world of pro wrestling. We're going out there to give each other our bodies and entertain a crowd. And it's the best job in the world. And the fact that I'm not in tight trunks anymore and I'm in tights, that's also another thing is like, I'm coming in tights. My hair's starting to grow long again. I changed up the look. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it happened for a reason. And that's what I always look at anything. Like even when I broke my nose or when Montez Ford broke my nose in 2018. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that happened for a reason. I don't know why, but like, it just was one of those moments of like, now I know what to do in this situation. Definitely shouldn't have finished that match, but I got up in the apron and we hit our finish and I jumped off the top. But it's just like you learn from it. And I even had the conversation with Carlos on the phone and I was just like, all right, cool. Now we have this protocol in place of the referee gets involved in this, but like, how can we make it better to protect the story of the match itself and not pull the curtain back completely and kind of keep the curtain there like Mr. Oz a little bit with like while taking care of the talent? How can we audible on the fly on the production side of things for whoever's on the headset to then relay to the referee what's coming next? Because they sent out Eddie, they got to the spot, and I can't thank Eddie enough for just being there.
Yeah.
And I thanked him so much for saving that too, because it really would have been a shitty way to end the show.
Yeah, but I also I understand what you're saying, and I know the show has to go on, but I also think that
sometimes the show has to go on. Not all the time.
Thank God you weren't knocked out. You were conscious. You were cognizant enough to have these conversations.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. And so, like, in my brain, I don't hope that that's always the protocol. And, like, yes, I am. Eddie was there and everything was fine. But, like, sometimes it just needs to end that way. And that is just what it is. And so, you know, like, I don't know. What's so tough about these situations is, like, wrestling is live and on the fly, and we could break this down 1 million different times and go through 1 million different scenarios of what would have been best. We talked about this where you were like, you know, it's kind of like every match is like this, but especially in this scenario, you had said this to me afterwards. It's kind of like post firefight on deployment. You all, I assume, you know, I'm speaking for you, but go back and break down like this happened and this happened and this person did this and this and this. Now, next time, how can we make it better? How can we make sure no one loses their lives or this doesn't happen? And so I think that this is a really great moment for reflection in wrestling to be like, everything happened 90% right.
Yes.
How can we tweak that 10%? We'll never know because it's live.
Yeah. And it just thinks too, because it was the main event. And like in my head, I'm like, these people aren't getting their money's worth now of what's going on. But I shouldn't. Obviously, my health is the number one thing there in that moment, I guess, from the performer standpoint. But my head always goes to the fans paid hard-earned money. They sat here till 10:30 at night to watch this main event.
Do that on purpose.
No, I know that, but it's just that's where my head goes instantly. Is like that's the baby face in me. No matter what, I'm always for the fan because I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
And it stinks for the moment, but here we are. I got in the ring yesterday.
Yeah.
I felt my back is killing me from the ropes.
Yeah.
But my head's good. My neck's a little sore, so still icing and doing that. And when I come back, it's hell. We're gonna lay down that lead. But yeah, no.
Yes, and so.
So let's talk about you and Maple Leaf though, which is
oh my gosh.
I know people have watched. Hopefully they have watched. If you haven't,
yeah.
I'll find you and I'll hunt you down.
Oh, and he's gonna lay down the lead.
I'm gonna lay down that lead. Sounds sexual.
Yeah, he
We
is.
can do it later.
Oh my goodness.
Lay down that lid. Go cyclic.
I love wrestling Giselle. I, in a very similar way to you, like to be physical and like to get hit, and it like revs me up. You know what I mean? And so night one of
2 was
Yes,
I
well,
watched from the hotel.
right, night one was great, and it was pure rules, and I think that we had like 14 minutes, like we hit time perfectly. I had no stress going in because I know she's great, and we know each other, and also we wrestled 100 times. I think actually maybe they said it on commentary, like 18 different times we wrestled during our times at TNA.
So you know each other well.
We know our sequences. We know what gets the crowd's reaction for us. Also, we were at St. Clair College where she and I have wrestled in a singles match before. TNA has run there before.
Josh had to relinquish the
Yes,
TNA world title
yes.
there. And,
And so, yeah, I walked into the weekend like, I don't even need to stress about this, you know. But then there is stress because I feel we're still introducing an audience to what women's pure rules looks like. And so I find that my opponents going into these types of matches stress about the rules. And I think I've done a really great job in my entire career, not to sound full of myself, but I've always been a technical wrestler, but I don't think I've ever demanded that anyone meet me at my level of technical wrestling, which, like, I don't even think I'm that technical of a wrestler.
The match is the stipulation, though, that they have to do that, so it changes them up a little bit.
Yes, but they don't have to.
No, I know that,
And
too.
I go into all of these matches saying, like, don't be stressed or intimidated by the rules. We can do them or we cannot. We can have a regular match. And I, as the wrestler that I am, is always going to use a rope break because that's my finish. So it would make sense if I didn't. So we're going to get the rules in no matter what. But, like, don't you stress about you having to be a pure rules wrestler. I'm the wrestler. And so that's how I've tried to look at this. Is like, it's a new division that we've not seen women do pure rules before. So we can make this whatever we want. And luckily, I've just kind of been doing this my whole career. So, like, I don't stress about those things. But it is learning the intricacies of, like, even at the Ring of Honor tapings this past Monday, I wrestled a girl and I was like, oh, and then maybe, like, you know, we're strong lock up and maybe she backs me up into the corner. And the referee is like, but that's a rope break for you because you're getting
into the corner?
Yes.
I don't know.
And so it's just kind of like, it could be, it could not be.
It's
like
a clean break, if anything.
Yes, but like, if I touch the rope, it's a rope break, right?
And
so
you do the hands up.
yes, but then it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm the baby face in these situations, so like last second I'll just turn you around and you're the heel, so you can use a rope break. Just put your foot out, you know. So I'm then also learning the intricacies of it. But long story short,
there's ways to play with it.
Yeah, you know, I thought Giselle really tapped into the pure rules too. We did a lot of, like, she does that I don't know what she calls it, but the Becky Lynch armbar, disarm her, and yeah, it was just really fun for me to get in the ring with someone I know and trust. I don't feel like I've been able to showcase me at that level yet throughout my time at AEW and Ring of Honor.
But you're also just getting back into the swing of things of wrestling consistently.
Yes.
Which once you gain your, like, that's all it is it comes with confidence.
Yeah.
That's how wrestlers perform better, is once they're getting those reps constantly and having good match after good match after good match, and you're finally getting your stride back. And it just gets you back to where you were, like the former world champion. Lorena's the reigning champion.
No, I know.
ROH champion.
I know. I think that, yeah, like going into AEW, I think that there was a completely like different world and different fan base that like attacked me right away and made me feel so uncomfortable in my own skin right away. And so all of that really affected my wrestling. And I feel like now, yes, I'm out of place, especially after both those matches with Giselle. I mean, the second night, yeah, we slapped the shit out of each other.
I loved it.
All on the fly. Like, that was not supposed to
I watched from my hotel room because they made me stay the second day. So I just chilled in my hotel room, took an edible and relaxed and iced my neck. But I'm watching my wife on my iPhone. And it was just, I was firing up.
Yeah, Josh
come
laughed.
on, motherfucker.
Yeah, Josh was like, what was that? I'm like, she fucking slapped me hard. And I was like, come on, motherfucker.
I love it.
But I do feel like, especially those two matches, like, I'm in a groove again. I feel confident. Like, I think when I first started, it was like, oh, don't use the Fujiwara. And, oh, only do the two arms. And, oh, you can't use the pile driver. And I just was like, who am I if you're taking everything from me? And then I'm a babyface, which I'm not really good at anyway. And I'm
when you just be like, you're just being you.
But then I'm in these situations with like Toni Storm as the champion, who like was kind of a tweener when I first came in, and so I just felt like I was up against the wall, like trying to be reinvented by this company, but knowing what worked for me, but not being able to do that. And I just until right now, finally feel like I'm giving the level of Deonna Purrazzo that I was 3 years ago. And it has been super defeating to feel like I've almost like wasted 2 years. But again, like, if I didn't go through all of that, I wouldn't have been able to have those 2 great matches with Giselle. Be the pure champion. Billy and I had a great match at Final Battle. Get this creative direction going and really be trying to like carve out a legacy for pure women's wrestling. And so...
and then that can lead to the next thing.
Whatever it is. And so, yeah, I felt really good about my weekend. Although I don't know if it was like the weight of what happened to you. But right before night 2, Giselle and I go out, I started to have a panic attack. And I had looked at her, and if you don't have panic attacks, like, you won't know what I'm explaining, but all of a sudden, like, my palms got really cold and, like, sweaty, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's happening.
I had one at BFG when Josh and I wrestled, and I was sitting on the stairs with you, and you're like, what's wrong? I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah. I puked, but then I was just having a panic.
Awkward. Yes, I start to get, like, clammy and sweaty in my palms, and then I start to, like, now my heart starts to pump, so that makes me feel like, oh my God, now I'm having a heart attack, and I need to go wrestle. Then I get, like, a weird breathing thing where I can't, like, take a deep breath.
My wife's a hypochondriac, by the way.
Yes, and then I'm like, I'm having a panic attack, so now I feel it, and I recognize what the feeling is. And Josh is trying to yell something to me about, like, there's in-ring entrances. And I'm like, Giselle doesn't know that. And the person's telling me my music's, and they're counting down. And I'm like, holy, I can't do this. I don't know if it was the weight of, like, what then happened with you. We were doing a similar spot where I was taking a super kick off the ropes. So I was stressed and, like, I just looked at Giselle and I was like, I'm fucking having a panic attack. I start to disassociate and then my music hits. And I'm like, well, here we go.
It's going to be either really good or really bad.
It's going to be really good or really bad. The only other time that's happened to me was Jordan in London, Ontario. So it's something about Canada. And it was Under Siege. And literally same feeling. And I looked at her. I said, I'm having a panic attack. So, like, you need to know that because I don't know how I'm going to feel. This has never happened to me before. And we proceeded to have the best match I think that we had throughout our time at TNA. So I think maybe I just need to have more panic attacks.
It just means you care. And, like, that's... Like, I have my puking, but there's my moments of, like, I hate that part. And there's always people around as I'm getting ready to go through the curtain. I'm walking around and go, or gorilla. And, like, people are looking at me like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I just really hate this part of wrestling. The 2 parts I hate the most is when I put my boots on. I love putting on my boots. But then my lower back just starts to seize up and hurt for some reason. It's like, oh, my body knows trauma's coming. And then it's right as you're at, like, right commercial break and your match is next and it's queued up. And then you hear Bravo go count you down or whoever's at the curtain. It's always Bravo. And it's just like, all right, cool. And then as soon as I go through, it's just everything's that fine. Switch flips and you're normal.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. The minute I put my boots on, my knees start to hurt. And I'm like, today's the day my knee blows out. And then as the bell rings for the match before me that it's over. And I'm like, why did I choose to do this with my life? I don't want to do this. I don't want to go out there. I'm not ready. I think I might cry. I think I might poop myself. I don't know what's happening. And then Topher, who at AEW is like, okay, you got to go. And I'm like, I don't want to.
But then you go kill it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that your confidence is back because I can even tell when you're home now too, like you're not just chomping at the bit to go to work again. Like you want to go to work. Yeah. But, like, you're not just sitting here twiddling your thumbs just like, when the fuck am I going to work?
Yeah, well, I also think in this whole last, 2 years, 2.5 since I've been at AEW, like, we've taken on so many outside projects that I took the semester off this semester because we have so much going on outside of wrestling. And
T2T coming up.
We have our T2T show coming up. We have the podcast that's been happening. Like, we've had...
Your Jefferson Township, you becoming a congresswoman, hopefully here in Florida, not New Jersey.
Yeah, so much going on that I feel like that has really helped calm my, like, well, I gotta get in the ring. Because I'm like, oh, wait, and Jefferson asked me to do this, and I'm going to speak at this, and all the Tunnel to Tower stuff. We're planning our own show, so there's so many responsibilities. We found out real quick that the card is always subject to change.
Yes, we learned in the promoting world, yes, you got to deal with some things that'll come up with injuries, or someone just decides to change dates.
TNA is working with us. They've been really, really gracious. We're really grateful. They had a scheduling change, and they are now also running in Denver on June 6th and June 7th. And so there was a lot of talent on our wrestling show that wasn't announced. from TNA. And so, unfortunately, we will not be announcing them because they cannot be a part of the show. But we are very fortunate enough to say that we do still, in fact, have Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Yes. And then also Rich Swann for our match against Amazing Red, which is a first time ever match that I'm very much looking forward to. And I know Rich is too, and look out for Rich too on a future episode here in a few weeks because we talk about it. And I'm very much looking forward to the show. And especially with the changes where it's like, all right, you know what? Some of the changes that happen could make for a better show than originally what we planned.
Yeah, you know what? I think some of the changes that we have are really exciting. They're equally as good, but unique. And, I think that we're bringing in Sinner and Saints.
Yes.
And I think that them coming to New Jersey, they've probably not wrestled in New York, New Jersey very much.
No, and I love Travis and Judas too because they're just very talented. They just need more of the reps and the more of the opportunity. And I love giving the opportunity. I'm like, when you see potential in somebody or just guys that are always just wanting to work and you look at that, and here I am constantly being able to and consistently be booked in a good storyline. And they're just chomping at the bit for them. Like, I've been in their position.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to bring them up with me as well. And I tried so hard when they were with Josh in our storyline and even with EY, just trying to always keep them involved no matter what.
No, they're awesome.
They're very good, young, talented, very intricate with what they do. And they do a lot of different things and they're unique in their own.
They're very puresy.
They're very just like, I don't know, Judas does some weird quirky things, but then Travis is like they're both hard hitters.
Yeah.
But like Travis is more like the straight shooter kind of in a way, and Judas is the oddball. But even Travis, though, when I talk to him behind the scenes, he's very oddball too. So I'm very excited that they're part of this.
Yeah. And I think, maybe the theme of this episode is that, everything happens for a reason. God puts us where we need to be. And for whatever reason, this show is shaping up differently than we had on paper. But I think that tickets are selling really well.
Yes.
We can keep the Hardys. That was our main concern. And everything else is just going to fit how it was supposed to before we even knew it.
Yes. So June 6th, Rahway, New Jersey. Tickets are still on sale. Very limited. There's how many floor seats left? Or are they sold?
Like 8 floor seats as of this recording.
Yeah.
And we have tons more to announce now. So stay tuned. But it's been really fun to dive into the promoter world. So much more drama than I even knew that there would be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're doing something special in our home state. And
for a very good cause.
Yeah. And so, if anyone has drama with that, that's a real issue for them and not for us.
So stay tuned for more announcements. So our promoter boots are on and we're just going with the flow and learning on the fly at the same time too.
Yeah, learning so much, but I feel so fortunate that we get to do it on this platform. And we have so much in store for Boots to Boots. We have some incredible guests lined up.
We do.
And I am just really excited for it.
Same. Likewise. So,
like we always say, if you're excited too, we need you to lace up your boots and join the conversation.
So click, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a review, share. Do everything you got to do to make more people tune into Boots to Boots, because if this is the conversation you didn't need to hear, well, now you heard it. Hopefully it helped you. So
we'll be talking to you.
If you're enjoying Boots to Boots, let us know.
Lace up your boots and join the conversation.
Like, subscribe, leave us a comment,
and we'll be talking to you.